What is going on, guys? In this video we go over the top 5 reasons why you should be considering the Sigma 18 to 35 if you're serious about filmmaking and making videos. First reason why you should really consider this lens is the price. South of $800, £600, what are you gonna get that's gonna match this lens blow for blow when it comes to image quality, aperture, zoom capabilities, clarity, and even just the overall product, the aesthetics, the build. It is the total package for that price point. There's nothing that can really match it at that price point, and which is why the Sigma 18 to 35 has become such a long-term favorite for all video makers all over, whether it's small-time YouTube channels like this or even semi-pro filmmakers. You can currently get it for about £600 brand new in the Canon mount, cheaper if you get the native Sony or Nikon mounts. The second thing that's really important about a lens when you're using it and you're going to invest a bit of money into it, especially when it's your own money, hard earned, and you know you really feel like you have to get your value out of it, is build quality. Doesn't matter how much you spent on a product, if it doesn't feel right, you're probably not going to want to keep it. So build quality is very important, which also goes hand in hand with aesthetics. If it doesn't look good and feel good, no matter how well it performs, it's always gonna feel subpar. So these things are very important, and the Sigma 18 to 35 doesn't disappoint on those accounts. Number 3 is the versatility. You can buy this lens for Nikon, you can buy this lens for Canon, you can buy this lens for Sony APS-C cameras, you can use it on Sony full frame cameras in Super 35 mode, you can also use it on the Panasonic Micro Four Thirds with a speed booster. You do have to factor in the fact that a speed booster is necessary with some of the mirrorless cameras, especially the Panasonics or any Micro Four Thirds fit camera. However, you can get a Viltrox EF M2 right now for about £70, which is like $80, as opposed to the £600 for a Metabone speed booster. Okay, number 4 on the list is the fact that this is the only lens in the world that can be wide open at f1.8 and still have a decent usable focal range. So what that really means is it can replace multiple prime lenses. It can replace a 25mm, a 30mm, 35mm, a 50mm all in one lens. On a Panasonic like I'm using, the GH5, you can have an effective range of 24mm to roughly 50mm. Now that is quite a decent range for something with a constant aperture of f1.8. With the speed booster, even with this Viltrox, the aperture goes down to claimed f1.2. Now obviously you're not going to get the depth of field of an f1.2, but you will get its light gathering abilities. And finally, number 5 is the low light performance. That low light performance is stellar. In this room I have nothing on other than my computer screen. Yeah, it's white, granted it helps. However, this is at f1.2 with the ISO of 2500, and on this camera that ISO is still relatively clean. The GH5 or any other Micro Four Thirds camera is by no means a low light monster. Not even very low light capable would probably be the more correct way of putting it. Combined with this lens and that speed booster, this does make it a very capable video making package. Now let's get into a few cons of this lens. Now everybody on the internet will rave about this. There might be some haters, but the majority of the internet or every user of this lens absolutely loves this lens, and for good reason. This lens makes an alright camera quite capable, but there's probably 3 things you need to consider as cons before you go and buy these lenses and really figure out if those are going to be a limiting factor for you. The first thing is it's heavy. Alright, here's some footage of me measuring this lens, and now with the speed booster, it's roughly a kilo. So that is heavy, and if that bothers you or puts you off, that's something you've got to know from the beginning. Number 2 is if you use the autofocus, which is actually with this new 2.4 firmware on the GH5, if you put it on single area autofocus, as long as you have your subject or the thing you're filming within that focal range, sorry, within that focus range, then it's not going to be an issue, and it actually focuses quite well now. However, the autofocus motor is very noisy, and I may have made the mistake of leaving it on single area autofocus at the beginning of this video, maybe when I was going over the top 4 reasons why to consider this lens, and you'll get to hear it if it was on. You'll get to hear it as it was on, and I won't really be doing anything to the audio in post. Finally guys, I picked mine up second hand for $420, okay, £420, which is like roughly $480. I got my speed booster for £70 off eBay. It is the Viltrox EF-M2. Okay, I updated the firmware. I haven't touched the lens firmware. So thanks very much for watching. If you did like this video and found it helpful in any way, please like and subscribe, and have a good night.